Welcome back. The photo on the left was taken in 2005, and it's a photo of me competing and representing Australia in the 2005 Age Group World Championships in Honolulu, Hawaii. The photo on the right was taken a few months ago at Moreton Bay. Now, they were 21 years apart, and it got me thinking about the lessons over the last 20 odd years that triathlon has taught me. And I came up with sort of 6 key lessons that I'd like to share with you guys today. So for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. For those who've been here before, welcome back. My name's Trindall. I'm a 57-year-old triathlete based in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. And for the last 40 odd years, on and off, I've been competing in the sport of triathlon. So let's dive straight into the lessons. So I guess I'm just going to go through these one at a time and keep it really simple. But the first lesson would be consistency. No matter how great your training plan is, it's that consistency that's going to get you the best results. So, and what I mean by that, it's just turning up every day. You don't need monster sessions. It's just being consistent with those sessions. So if you've got three swims a week, 3 bikes a week, 3 runs a week, it's just doing those 3 sessions and being consistent in them week in, week out. And your fitness will build over seasons. So I'm back in about my 3rd season after a bit of a break where I put a lot of weight on. I got myself up to about 103, 104 kilos. And it took me a season and a bit to get down to sort of in that high 80s, and then another season to now where I'm down in the low 80s and high 70s, depending on where I'm at my racing and training cycles. So that consistency is really part of it. So the second biggest thing, and I guess this came about really as I've gotten older, but recovery is training. And what I mean by that is the recovery is when you get fit. So those people who feel that, having that rest day, I've had so many athletes that I've trained over the years where you'll factor in a rest day, and they won't tell you that, but they'll go out and they'll do a smash session with their mates or something like that. And then the next week they end up injured or sick, and you're trying to figure out what went wrong within the program. But when you really come down to it and you put the hard word on them, you find out that they've overtrained and that they've caused that injury or illness through not taking on board that recovery. Because recovery, whether it be a light easy day, whether it be a complete day off, whether it be an active recovery day, so going out do some stretching or just having a walk or something like that, is really where your fitness will come from. And to me, that is one of the most important training sessions we have, especially as we get older. Lesson 3, fitness comes and goes, but character stays. And what I mean by that is you're going to have those times in your racing where you'll have a DNF, you might have an illness or something like that. You'll lose a bit of fitness, but the character to turn around and start that journey again. Just recently, and I'll give you my little story, is that I had a brilliant season. I had 10 races in total for the last season. 9 of those races I managed to put myself on the podium. The 10th race was my A race of the season, which was the Cairns Ironman. And 2.5 weeks before Cairns Ironman, I started to getting a little bit of a calf niggle. And in the transition from the swim to the bike, I actually gave myself a grade 2 calf tear, which required me to pull out about 60k into the bike in absolute agony. So, it would have been very easy to be really down on myself and get disappointed with that. But here we are, we're about 6 or 7 weeks back, and I'm back training properly again. I'm in my 2nd week of running again, and everything's feeling great, and I'm looking forward to the new season. So that's what I say, that character and being able to reset and move forward is really important. Lesson 4, stop comparing yourself to others. So I did this a lot in my younger years. I would always look at other competitors and wish I was as good as them, rather than concentrating on myself and where I'm at with my own training, and just trying to be the best version of myself each time, then and again. So just looking at each race and how I could improve, and that's one of the big takeaways I do now. Is last season I had a few races where I had some issues where I made little stupid mistakes in transition and things like that, or I went out too hard on the run. But each race after it, I would sit down and I would look at what I could do to improve on that race, and then the next race in the series I would go ahead and execute that improvement. And that's really it. If you just focus on yourself and on just getting that little, they say 1% improvement a day adds up massively over time, and it really does. So stop comparing yourself to others is probably the biggest thing there. Lesson 5, longevity. So as I said at the beginning of this video, I'm turning 58 shortly. I'm 57 at the moment. So I started this sport way back in Nepean in 1983. And that was a very young age. I think I was about 13 or 14 years of age when I did that first race. I haven't done triathlon consistently a whole time, because you'll have those blocks of period in your life where you'll get busy. and where you'll go and, like I did, focus on a career or focus on family, through other things like that, your weight creeps up and eventually you find yourself coming back to the sport where you can keep yourself healthy and then to find that nice sort of balance as well. So, but to me, the most important thing that comes out of the sport is being able to stay fit and active, especially in my 50s, and I'm really looking forward to my 60s and 70s, and I still want to be going around in my 80s, and this sport enables us to do that. And I guess the final lesson, lesson 6, is don't wait until you're fit to start. You don't really need to be, an ultra athlete to be able to get involved in this sport. Just get out and take a walk around the block to start with. Pull that old rusty mountain bike out of the corner of the shed and go for a ride. Go down the waterfront, have a ride, go out and find yourself a trail somewhere, something like that. You can't swim, join a master's squad, or just go and jump in the pool and do half a lap, do a lap, and just build on it a little bit each day. Enter that race, set yourself a goal 8, 10, 12 weeks from now and commit into that race for the new season. It doesn't have to be a massive race. It could be one of the little enticer races, 300 metre swim, 10k bike and 2 or 3k run. But commit yourself to that. Don't wait until you're fit to do that. Do it now and keep yourself moving forward. So if you made it this far in the video, I'd like to thank you so much for watching. If you found that you've gotten value from this, please feel free to subscribe. If you've subscribed already, thank you. And until next time, guys, stay safe out there and enjoy the process.